And welcome back, my friends, to another delightful session where I continue to observe the mistaken on their journeys through the land of Barovia. In their last episode, they successfully traveled from the Amber Temple back to the town of Valaki, confirming once more that that is where Irina is located should I wish to take her. They reunited with Palma and believed themselves protected with their new defenses. And yet Katia let me in via trying to communicate with her dear mother via magic mirror. A mirror which subsequently shattered to prevent such freedoms being allowed. The party also spent some time in the toy shop of one Gadov Blinsky, who tried to make them all happy by offering various gifts, trading stuff, and Octavian managed to get a specialized Blinsky bullet, which he does not yet know the effect of, positive or negative. But now the party have reunited in the Blue Water Inn, watched over by members of the Keepers of the Feather. And now we shall return and join them there, sitting around the table around the wine provided by their noble hosts.
So yeah, drinking time.
Yeah.
How many deep is Greed when Octavian and Aster get here?
Oh God, yeah, I've been here this entire time. How long's it
Katia
been
would've
since we split?
Met up with Greed. Katia would have met up
Well-
with Greed pretty shortly after.
Well, you spent obviously some time in the manor whilst the others were at the toy shop, so it wasn't necessarily too big a difference in time. So
Okay.
maybe 5-10 minutes since before they arrive.
Oh, so maybe a couple in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Katia walks
I
in.
assumed at some point there you would have resummoned Wover, so I've just put them on the map. Yeah.
But Wover's probably gonna be babysitting at the church.
Okay. I will talk all that visibility then. But yes, so Katia walks in, seeing Greed drinking.
She
Um,
looks stressed. Like, you know how like in anime you have like that sort of like vein pop on the forehead when a character's like really stressed out? That's what's happening right now. And she walks over to Greed and she sits down next to him and she looks right at the barkeep and she said, "A glass, please, of, I don't know, whatever."
One of the children brings it over and places it on the table in front of you.
She will take it and she will drink it and she will chug the whole thing down. Should I roll for con?
Yeah, why not? Might as well have some fun.
Okay, just I'm
Just a con save.
Okay, I don't have my character sheet up, so I should probably do that.
Hmm. And I would assume Misha would arrive probably shortly.
Hmm.
That depends on how what's the word? How well trained Lucian was.
He was fairly well trained.
Yeah.
Katia, you're feeling a bit tipsy, I will say. You're not drunk, but you're feeling
Is
the
it good
effect.
wine?
Your face. It's cheaper, but still the lifeblood
It's
of
not as-
Barovia, so...
It's not as nice as the wine from the church.
Mm,
Probably the
no,
same one.
it's probably about the same. Because
that's fair.
you wouldn't... The only place where you might have had fancier stuff would be probably in
Ravenloft for the Vitatop Manor?
Ravenloft itself, yes. Or the
Yeah,
Feedstuff
okay.
Manor, yeah.
He probably supplied the church, let's be real.
She finishes her first glass and she's like, and then she holds it out. Like, hit me.
The two innkeepers look at each other and then look over at Greed and raise an eyebrow. And
So
it's probably at that point that Aster and Octavian would begin to walk in, but Greed, feel free to respond.
well, looking over at Greed, you'd see him kind of buried into a notebook that you haven't really seen before, but it's just full of numbers and just scrawlings across the page. He's just jotting notes, and he hasn't really paid much attention to the surroundings.
Aster will creep over to look over Greed's shoulder at the book out of curiosity.
So, looking over, it just looks like a stock of inventory, and you'll see a couple of things of note. So, Octavian's pistol is listed. The bullet that Octavian had given, as well as various components that would make it up. So, iron, steel, gold parts, brass, various materials, each listed with costs, and it's just tallied down. But that's just on the page that you see there. It's probably...
Sorry.
I was gonna say it's probably at that point where he catches Aster's snout in the corner of his eye. Just goes, ah! When the bloody hell did you get here?
Aster, Octavian!
And then at that moment, he'll turn around and go, when the hell did you get here?
I've been Octavian!
Oh god, you're laggy.
I've been here!
Aster just sort of calmly goes, I was just curious.
Well,
You know that I keep a light foot.
Well, you scared me half to death.
Can I see?
Close up the notebook and tuck it into his bag.
You don't smell more like a corpse.
Taylor, your microphone's lagging a bit.
Yeah, a lot.
Is it? I have
Yeah.
no idea what's happening.
Sounds like
I'm gonna-
internet connection problems
I'm
where
gonna
it's just not...
Even come back.
Okay.
Katia's twitching. But yeah, sorry, go on. Go on,
It's just
Aster.
Katia's drunken state.
You don't smell any more like a corpse than you did before.
Who?
You said you were scared half to death.
Oh. It's a phrase. It's just a saying people say.
The Discord did have to update, so that probably was part of it. Do I sound better now?
Yeah.
A little.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. A little.
There's a little bit here and there. But sorry, I have to continue.
Oh,
But
I've never did this before.
most of the memories that I have don't tend to be very verbal in nature.
It's fine, you'll get the hang of
phrases
it.
are odd.
Have you come to join for a drink? Did you finish up everything you needed to at Blinsky's?
More
I
or less.
believe so.
More or less, yeah. I mean, you will see Octavian has his nose buried in the book. He would have been walking, sort of, almost holding on to Aster's tail, sort of as a guide. Just like nose buried in this book, trying to focus on it.
I'm assuming it's a good one.
I mean, it's the tone that he got.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like, just have some money.
Yeah, you're holding on to Aster's tail. Are you holding on to like one of the teeth, or are you holding on to some of the fur?
Oh, it's one of the teeth. He's just sort of almost like just grabbed it and kept just walking, holding it. So it'd probably be one of the teeth.
All right, are we good?
I think so.
I think so.
I think we're good, yeah.
That seems better.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on.
That's all right.
Alright.
Aster sort of looks at the wine and goes, I don't tend to drink with you all whenever we drink. I think the only wine I've had was the wine at the winery.
Give me more. She will hold up her glass. Pretty please.
The other child walks over and fills up your glass from a pitcher
Thank you.
and then walks back. And will also
She's-
fill up glasses for the rest of the party,
She is not going
including
to chug
Misha
this
as
one.
they walk in.
She's not going to chug this one, but she is going to take a couple like hard gulps. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you said that you didn't drink.
I didn't. I changed my mind.
Why is that?
What do you think?
Oh,
Sorry.
life became complicated.
Yeah. 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 I messed up. The mirror's
How so?
broken.
You see,
Oh.
you see Octavian's ears twitch at that.
Can't Belmar fix it?
No. The spirit inside of the mirror was freed when it was broken.
Ah.
It's irreparable.
What happened?
You know. Everything else that goes wrong in Barovia is usually the fault of one person. I wanted to see Theodosia. And instead I got him. He tried to hypnotize me, and when that didn't work, he tried to give me some sort of offer if I wanted to see my mother. And I said no.
Cheers to that.
I yelled at him.
Another cheers.
But we knew about the mirror. We understood that it wasn't foolproof.
And if it broke because he broke it, that doesn't sound like you did anything.
Well, I'm saying it was a risk using it to begin with.
I know. I'm sorry.
We didn't
I
stop
tried to-
you. It's not
I
like
tried-
it was.
I tried to fix it, but my spell didn't work. And Palmer said that there was no way he could fix it. And then he slapped me. She takes another drink.
Rightly so.
Rightly so. You don't even know why he did it. Okay, well, he didn't actually slap me for the mirror.
Aster.
Hmm?
Remind me that when Belmar gets in, I need to have a word with him.
No, it's fine. I'm sorry.
Leave him be, Misha. If he did it, it would have been for good reason. You know what he's like. He acts rash, but he has a good heart.
He called me whiny.
Well,
Do you don't think I'm whiny, do you?
Octavian just gives Greed the look of shut up over the book.
He chuckles and sips his wine.
I feel like I'm having a perfectly reasonable response to all of this.
I mean, it was a very subtle look of shut up, you know, sort of shut up.
Don't poke the bear kind of look.
Yeah, just that we don't have the evening for this.
Well, it
Anyway.
sounds like he made the decision for you concerning it. We knew we could end up contacting him from our experiences before.
Just
I didn't know that.
Did Palmer not fill you in?
No!
Yeah.
I just knew that you could contact someone with the mirror. And I wanted to see my mom. I know, it was stupid. I'm sorry.
You did
But
what
there
you
might be
thought
other
was
ways.
right. Sorry, go on.
Wasn't really right, it was selfish.
Yes, it was. But now you've learned.
Strahd said that for as long as he lives, I will never see my mother.
Well, good thing we plan on killing him.
And
all the more
also,
reason to get rid of him, then, isn't it?
it also goes for all of us. I mean, we can't leave this place while he's still reigning. We're all trapped in. And I think it's time we just let that sunk in.
I'm sorry. I've been really selfish and stupid recently.
Yes, you have. But it's fine. We don't hold anything against you. We understand that we've all done selfish things in this place. And we can't hold each other accountable. But what we can do is make it right.
I mean, Palmer said that he's been looking away to destroy that mirror for a long time.
Well, that's good. You probably saved me a shit ton of money, so I'll drink to that.
But she looks Octavian.
He's buried in the book still. They just sort of glanced up. So just very sort of absent-minded.
You mentioned you wanted to use the mirror. I know you can't. And I'm sorry.
He'll close the book and put it down and reach into his pocket. Pull out his compass and go, yes, I did. However, what is done is done. And he'll click the top to open it. And I go, at least I still have these, and he'll slide the photo, put the photos down. And for the first time, you'll notice that there is a second photo there, which is of another GIF without a mustache, with almost like teal tattooing around her eyes, and sort of across the top of her face. That was my wife.
She's beautiful.
She was, yes. She was.
She on the ship?
No, this was before. Before we came here. That's one reason I suppose I was.
You're a little quiet, Tank.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're pretty quiet.
Sorry. No, this was before. Years before. A few years before, I should say. But yeah. Okay, so that's. And he was like, this is what, I'm sorry, James, I forgot the guy in the Amber Temple. What his name? Not the
Necron?
Lich. yes, this is what Anethram was saying about there was a few of us who could hear the offerings from these beings there. One of them was me.
Well,
Mm.
And
I'm
I
glad
won't.
you didn't.
I almost considered it.
You would see Aster sort of make an uncomfortable expression as they consider the possibility of that happening. And you would see this sort of like intense look of like discomfort as they sort of motion their eyes towards themselves and then back to you. And you with sort of Aster's inability to like lie emotionally, you know exactly what Aster would have done if that was the
Mhm.
case.
Yep. He goes, yeah, he sort of, he's almost sort of trying to chew on his bottom lip almost, but obviously with tusk it's a bit hard. And sort of, the thought was there, the chance to reunite my family once we're out of this place. It was tempting, very tempting.
In your mind's eye, Octavian,
Mhm.
the image of your wife in the photo almost seems to turn to face you and gives you a warm smile.
And okay, everyone will see this sort of this smile, like almost like pure sort of joyous smile, just sort of creep across Octavian's face at the thought of it.
Mm.
I mean, he's not holding it back. You can see it's just sort of this like warm smile. So, I couldn't do it. You know, as much as I wish I could, couldn't do it. Especially not knowing what could happen, the side effects, and of course, potentially releasing another being such as that into this place. I couldn't do it. But yeah, you just sort of, you smile, but it's, it's a sad sort of smile at the thought of it in that sense, the possibility of what could have been. Okay, it's what it is, and he'll put the photos back and just get some wine and pick the book back up again.
Katia would have finished her second glass and ordered a third one.
Yeah, in which case I want another con save from you, Katia.
Okay.
At 5.
Mm-hmm.
You would see that Tarnish has their head like halfway down the glass that Aster had put in front of them.
Yep.
I imagine that Tarnish is sitting on Aster's lap almost.
Ooh.
That's a 12.
Luckily you have it's a 12. You're feeling a bit tipsier, but you're not quite drunk.
It's good wine.
Your
Octavian's
face is a
just
little
gonna-
flushed.
David's just going to ask them for literally the largest sort of container that they have for the wine, just so he doesn't have to keep sort of asking for another one.
Is there food? Is there food? I want to order for the table.
There's wolf steak. There's wolf steak.
Tarnish will pull up the ewer and use the command word and literally like pour Octavian wine.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I have. Oh, I don't think I have it ready today, but I normally do have food and drink. She's like, really? Wolf steak? That's it?
Yeah.
To be fair,
It's the only meat you're gonna get in Barovia these days, unless you fancy eating raven.
Wolf steak, wolf jerky.
What if I don't want any meat? What if I just want, like, I don't know, like mushrooms? You got mushrooms?
Bloody
Octavian
vegetarians.
I kill for a mushroom soup right now.
Mushroom.
A few moments later, a bowl of mushroom soup is put before you.
Oh my god, thank you! I'm gonna tip you so good for this. Oh my gosh. Thank
Aster,
you.
Oh no.
Aster will see where this is going and just silently walk over and put like 15 Electrum on the counter by the innkeeper and just walk back to the group.
Yeah.
I do have a question, James. My mess kit would be Octavian scaled, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a bloody big cup in that mess kit.
Yeah.
He'll just hand that over. He'll just use that as his sort of drinking mug.
Danik, the innkeeper's wife, will say, well, if you're really looking for a lot of wine, you could always take the challenge, now that we've got a steady supply.
Oh, no.
What's that?
He'll put the book down again. Oh, challenge?
Aye, we got a pretty substantial one.
What is it? What is it?
Well, they look to their husband, who goes into the back room. He'll be back in a moment with the vessel.
Oh, wait a minute! I
Challenge.
remember you! You're the lady who helped me with my dress! She was the lady
Yes.
who helped her get her out of the dress when we first came back from Ravenloft.
Yes.
Yes.
And the dress was really tightly knotted.
I mean, I could
Yeah.
make a gallon of decent wine in my alchemy jug, but it's going to be frowned upon to do that in a bar.
So Erwin comes back with a large drinking horn.
Whoa.
And by large drinking horn, this is probably about as tall as Katia.
Oh, no.
Katia's
Game.
5'4", I believe. I think I said.
Octave, I'm game.
Now, if you can drink this,
I would like to try at least a little bit. I'll probably fail, but I want to try.
well, it's a gold piece to try. And if you fail, it's another 9 gold pieces. But if you succeed, it's free.
Octavian will put a gold piece down just straight away. Even if he fails, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
So
And
I have deducted a gold.
you've got to drink it without stopping.
Oh, my
I've played these games before, back when I was a midshipman. Must be all
I
30, 40 years ago.
I have never seen anything of the sorts of things.
And then Octavian sort of realizing he said 30 or 40 years ago, realizing he's that much older than everyone else in the party.
Yeah, and anyone in the party who wishes can roll me a nature or arcana check looking at this horn.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Nature. Why is my arcana better than my nature?
Because
that sounds
you
wrong.
have proficiency in Arcana.
I have expertise in arcana.
Ah.
I have a -1 to my intelligence, so I don't think she's gonna win.
So,
Also, wouldn't I get disadvantage anyway because I'm tipsy?
no, you're not quite that
No, you're not
tipsy
yet.
yet.
Ah. Okay.
But everyone who got at least a 13 recognizes that this is a dragon's horn.
No. Oh, God.
Oh, I'm game.
The
we
drunkenness
called it.
is considered poison, correct?
Yep.
Yes. Oh, you're one of those.
Isn't Aster immune to
Yes.
Not
No,
immune.
no, he has
I have
resistance.
advantage.
resistant?
Or
Uh,
advantage.
I have advantage against
Yeah.
the poison condition and diseases.
I wonder.
The big horn.
It's a
Um,
dragon horn.
One
But
honey
also,
boy.
Aster doesn't need to breathe, so you guys would have a problem having to breathe during that.
Oh no, it'll be fine.
and they will hand it over to you and go, dragons like wagons have tongues, dragons like flagons have necks. But while two
Beautiful.
hold dear, the other eats dear.
Yeah.
Now
And little
drink
birds
it down,
too.
my dear. Right.
I've heard a variation of this. However, my version ends with "and little birds too," and he sort of eyes them with like a smile,
Aye.
knowing what they are.
Aye, back in
Tarnish
our
probably
days,
is looking at the
dragons
horn
weren't a
suspiciously.
threat. But okay, Octavian, this is going to be a challenge. It's going to be a series of con checks.
Oh, not
Yep.
saves.
Nope,
Checks.
not saves. This is checks specifically because this is. There will be saves as well,
Mhm.
which as they come across, but that will depend on the results of the checks.
Sounds
so,
good.
as you begin to drink, give me a con check.
I'm so excited for this. Nice,
nat
dude.
20,
Fucking skull it.
You are fine for the first bit of
All-
drinking. For
All
the
of
first,
us are waiting train.
Just as he's drinking,
first-
Greed's gonna say, "You've been waiting for something like this, haven't you?"
for the first 12 inches of alcohol, you are fine.
I can't believe you're
12
wasting your
inches.
reading time for this.
It's worth it.
And now we need another con check.
Katia just goes, chug, chug, chug.
Oh, there we go.
Uh,
Back to back.
Just because I can,
Wow.
James. Inspiration to re-roll.
Oh my god.
That's
Sure,
four.
I'll take your inspiration off.
I've just knocked it off.
Okay, you managed to successfully. You almost choke.
I
but you
can't believe I-
managed to, perhaps inspired by thoughts of mighty deeds, you managed to push through the next 6 inches, and now I will like a con save.
I can't believe I just wasted my inspiration on
Chug,
this.
chug, 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 chug. He's doing it.
Okay,
He's
you're
doing
It's so
fine.
you though.
I mean, you're next to
Right,
me.
and now-
so-
I mean, this would be +5 as well because
Yeah.
I'm
So
next
you're
to.
fine. So
Yep.
you've drunk 18 inches of what I'm going to say is about. Yes. What I'm going to say is 60 inches of alcohol.
Fuck.
What is the alcohol
Um,
percentage? That's the question.
It's
So
wine.
it's gonna be like between 14
It's gonna be like
and 30%.
12 to 13% or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
This will be
right.
fun, right?
Con check.
Chug, chug, chug. Yeah, Rover.
Okay, that's
Oh.
another 6 inches. So you're at 24,
Even
Hello.
Rover's rooting for you.
60. Almost halfway there.
Another.
Con check.
I believe in you, Octavian.
Oh, you're fine. That was almost on a
Fucking
2.
hell.
I saw it. Okay, con save.
Yep.
Save or check?
Save. As you're
Oh, Katia's
halfway
hyping.
through.
Katia is hyping up the whole bar at this point.
You are fine.
I mean, that would have been a
Okay.
what, 26?
Yeah, another
26.
con check. Ooh.
I can't even guidance because that's verbal. It's fine.
Anyone got a way to assist?
Guidance.
Oh, oh,
Yes,
oh.
guidance.
I'm going to do one thing, James, because I haven't done it today. Wheel of Woe, what we got?
Whoa. I believe
Damn it.
Wow.
I think that is a woe, yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
guidance? Can I guidance?
Yeah,
Sure.
that's woe.
Okay.
God damn it. I think I've had wheel like once this whole time.
You've only got woe. Like, you've consistently got woe.
Yeah. So, god damn it. Let me have wheel for a change.
Damn.
That is not enough, I'm afraid. So you begin to cough and splutter, and now I need a con save at disadvantage.
But it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
no.
That's still
Hey.
25.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fine. But unfortunately, you do have to stop drinking because you rolled below the check. You
Oh,
got
come
halfway
on.
through. Actually, you know what? The DC is going up more significantly than it was going to, but I'll let you continue.
Sweet.
So you're 30 inches down.
Ability check, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, you're done.
I need
Yeah.
guidance
With
him
that,
again.
it wouldn't be enough. Actually, you can keep going. I'll give you one more try. 3 fails.
Come on, dice gods. Let's fucking go.
Okay. That was the DC for where you're at the moment.
Stop.
As you go 36 inches through. 14 more, no,
4.
26. 24 more inches to go, so
Oh,
give me another
Jesus
check.
Christ.
It never
Yep.
ends.
Another model save.
Another check.
Sorry, was that check?
Yep.
Oh, God.
So while
Yeah,
Octavian is
no.
drinking,
No, that's
it's
me
fine.
done.
And that is a fail. Even with guidance, there is no
Yeah.
way for you to pass that. Well, you gave it a good try, but you'll have to pay up as
Yep.
they take the
Katia rubs
wine.
his back.
And with
That put me at
looks,
35.
she looks directly at you as she holds this, and she finishes the remaining drink in one gulp. And doesn't even hesitate, and then hands the horn back to her husband, who takes it back outside.
He just,
So that'll be,
yeah,
that'll
his
be
jaw
9 gold you
drops.
owe me.
Yep, he slides the 9 gold straight over. I've just knocked that down to put me at 35 gold.
Yep.
Still really impressive, Octavian.
Yeah, and I will like another con save from you.
I was going to say, would you like a con save off of me, James?
Mhm.
It's
You're fine.
God damn it.
Aster is going to look at that. Is the main thing that was causing Octavian trouble the fact that he had to breathe in while trying to drink this drink?
That was one of the main issues. Yeah.
God damn it. I thought...
Aster's gonna walk over and just out of curiosity, if that was the main issue, Aster may genuinely try because
I'm an idiot.
Hmm?
I could have sat here and ritual cast water breathing first.
Water breathing isn't wine breathing, I'm afraid.
It's water.
Aster will go and place a gold down, and
The husband will come out with another one of wine and hand it to you. Okay. I guess due to your not needing to breathe, you can give me these con checks at advantage.
Because you don't need to breathe. You have advantage.
yeah, I do not need to breathe.
Yeah.
Katia
essentially
is sipping her drink the whole time, watching this all go down. This is so fun for her.
Okay.
Okay, you passed the first check. You can keep going. You passed the second check.
Nice.
You can
Let me know if you need guidance, Aster.
give me a con save, which again would be an advantage because poison.
Yeah, +5.
Yeah, you are fine. Third check. Still fine. that one, Katia, you would see them beginning to struggle. Even with
okay.
their inability to breathe, it seems the amount of liquid rushing down them all at once is perhaps too much. Perhaps it's
Guidance.
overwhelming them with flavor.
Guidance.
Yeah. Yeah, guidance allows you to pass. So, what's that? Is that 3 checks?
It's not
so
cheating
far?
because they haven't told us.
Yeah. 1, 2. That's 4, so I need a con save.
I think that they're more interested in seeing if we can. +5, so 17.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, next check. Gonna need another guidance.
I gotcha. Guidance. Damn.
That's still a failure, unfortunately. But that is your first failure.
I tried.
So you can keep going, but you are struggling. And that's another failure, unless someone can boost it up enough.
Yeah, I'll do another quick guidance.
And that makes it a success. So that's... I think that's your 7th one?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that your 8th? No, that's your 8th one. So you're getting there, but still... Okay, give me another. Give me a con save actually first, sorry. You're fine.
Cool.
And then another con check. You are fine. You've managed to get your second wind, it seems. And another one. So check some.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
actually, I can use because it's a check. I can use memory, so I can use
Yep. D6. Brings it up to a 20. But does anyone have anything to boost that? Because you're not quite there.
Guidance.
They guidance him.
you
Yeah,
can guidance. This is not over the course. This is not a single round.
Yep, so you can do another guidance check, someone.
Alright, I can
Yep.
do another guidance check.
well then, damn it.
I can do it. If Foundry would like to stop being laggy.
No, that is a failure, unfortunately, on the very last bit.
It's only my second
Yeah.
failure.
Oh, yeah, one more check then, I suppose. Yeah. Gotta roll high, though.
So that is yep.
Or you
18.
could
I still-
potentially boost this.
Yep, I can.
That brings it to 20. You need a little
Then I
bit
have-
more.
I have another use of my. I have 3 uses of my knowledge from a past life, so I'll use a second one.
And with
Yep, 3.
that... Wait, let me just check. Yeah, with that, you successfully managed to finish the drink. Just.
Mm.
But it was difficult, and even with your capability of not having to breathe, you still struggled. But there is a round of applause from everyone.
Yep.
Your gold coin is returned to you as they take the horn. But as you hold the gold coin, you realize it is actually a platinum coin.
No.
That was incredible, Aster!
Hmm?
Well done.
Well done.
You out-trick Octavian!
I mean, yeah, it's been a while since I did that. He sort of,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
like you could have done it in your college days?
we used to, as I said, sort of 40 years ago. But yes,
Oh
I'm an
my
old man. I'm an old
gosh.
man, Katia.
I
I'm
know,
s-
yeah, I just can't...
Don't
I
pretend
still
you're
can't
old.
process how old you are sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I'm in my
Oh.
60s.
I imagine the most terrifying thing of that is the fact that Aster doesn't look like they drank that much alcohol. They just look normal. Oh,
Palmar!
Yeah, Palmer, hello.
walks in.
I
Gives a
imagine
little
that the
wave.
wine is dripped, like some of the wine has dripped down Aster's face, making it look like
Yeah.
they've been gorging on
Yeah,
something bloody.
you've got a red stained mouth, like you've just like gorged yourself on. And Palmer just stares for a moment. They're smart, so I'm going to give them an intelligence check to see if they can work out what's happening.
It's not the first time we've seen Aster covered in a red
And
sepsis.
they're just like, am I interrupting? Did you just kill someone?
It's
It's
wine,
wine.
Palmar!
That makes more sense.
Hey, barkeep, get us a drink for our friend here, please.
Aster will just hand Palmar the alcohol from the table, but
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know
they'll
they
take
had
it.
alcohol at the table.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
They'll take a glass and have a drink.
Octavian's going to say you've never heard him. I've never heard or seen him do before. He's going to ask for a steak.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
oh,
You... Okay,
Yep.
Octavian.
You best make the most of it. We can't really get many more these days.
Of course.
I thought you
And-
only ate vegetables, Octavian.
This mushroom soup is really good. You should
I
have
eat-
some of that.
I eat meat very rarely. My race are more so herbivorous.
Yeah. Erwin comes out with a big steak, cooked the way you like it. Somehow, he knows how you like it without asking, just places it on the table.
Yep.
I mean, it's rare, of course, because you eat it very rarely.
Yes, it's well done. No.
Oh no.
No.
No, for Octavian, it's blue, I would imagine.
Yes. Yes, it
As
is.
blue as his eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, and Palmar will have his medium rare, I'm imagining, because Palmar has some as well. Actually, no, Palmar's probably rare because Dragon probably likes a bit of a bloodier steak, but not quite as bloody as Octavian.
I would say that Katia has finished her third drink at this point.
Yeah, you can give me another con save, and Greed, you've probably gone for a few, so
He's been
you
nursing.
can give me a con save as well. Why not?
Yeah, he's not drinking to get slaughtered.
Well, Misha, you're
Oof.
yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. So
Oh no.
Katia,
Oh no.
Oh no.
Katia, you are poisoned.
Wait,
Greed,
Katia
you're also...
at 5. Greed also at 5.
It's still not enough. Greed got a 3,
If I...
and for
I'm properly
you,
drunk.
yours is already adding the +5, right?
No,
Looking at
I added it manually, so I got
Yeah,
a
so-
total. Yeah.
Yeah, so all 3 of you are drunk.
Nice.
That's good wine. This soup is so good, by the way. You guys need to have some.
Aster
Yeah.
will tilt their head, just sort of the like wandering gaze that everyone has. Oh, Leon hits the. He just hits the
Does
poison.
not
I
happen.
love that. I love
Misha
that.
cannot get drunk.
Oh, come on, Misha. Please get drunk with us.
Dave's gonna look at Katia, look at her mushroom soup, and just pull out a spoon from his pack and just try it. That's
Pretty
not
good
bad.
soup.
It's good soup.
There's a slight
alright.
garlicky note to it.
All right. Yeah.
Great, this is
I'm
the
actually-
first time since the last time you were here. You got this sloshed, it looks.
It's been a long time, but it's going to be a good evening. Because I'm back with my friend. Looks over to Palma.
Palma smiles. Do I? I could ruin Greed's buzz and just remove the poison.
Please.
But no, I won't yet. Unless Greed starts acting a prat. Maybe. Wait, Greed, is that a broom behind you?
Where? And he will instantly fire off a fucking Eldritch Blast.
Oh no.
Oh, no,
Narrowly
not the
missing
children.
the hair of one of the children. Oh no, that kid has a brush style hair. My mistake. Sorry, Owen, Danica. They glare at Palma because he was the instigator, not Agreed.
You can't do that. She's laughing though.
Bloody mages.
You can't be doing that to people.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, Palma, you're the best.
Who said that?
I open the bag.
Oh no.
Quiet you.
Palma, you're always right.
Uh,
What is that?
he'll pull out.
There is a
It's a broom.
there is a broom, like a model broom in there that speaks.
Like a duster.
Yep.
That's cute. Why
And
does
all
it
it does
speaking
is-
go?
That's the work of Palma.
I gotta make sure someone compliments me for my work.
Little shit.
I haven't listened to the music box yet, but I'm sure it's great. Like it looks better already because you fixed it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be great.
Speaking of things, Octavian's going to put his hand out to Greed. Pistol. Or whoever's got it.
It's Palma that has it currently.
Ah, yes.
Almar twirls it around his finger. Seems to be handling it quite expertly before handling back to you.
Thank you.
Misha apparently has a story to tell.
Oh, storytime with Misha.
Seeing you drink from that gigantic drinking horn, I remember reading about a story from one of the deities in the Nordic lands. Apparently, they were challenged to a drinking game, where they also had to drink from a giant drinking horn. And by giant, I mean a horn made for giants.
Yep.
Oh.
And the gods started drinking and drinking and drinking, almost giving up because the bottom never got inside. And eventually, after days of drinking, they fell down drunk, failing the challenge. But when they came through, they awoke and they noticed the shoreline, where the waters of the seas, of the oceans used to be right at his feet. Now there is a giant beach.
Yep.
And one of the people who gave him the challenge confessed to him that the bottom of the drinking horn was connected to the oceans, and he was never supposed to succeed. But every time he took a gulp, his drinking caused the tides to show up and go.
Funny enough, I remember reading about this. It was Thorn, I think it was Loki.
It's a story about Thor and Loki, exactly.
Yes, I remember the one. You're thinking, as soon as you said about the only drinking for days, I was thinking, hold on, I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
I love the
Gods from your guys' world sounds a lot more fun. I got stuck being a nun. She drinks her drink sadly. I wasn't allowed to do anything.
Moonlight shines through the window and lands on you, Katia.
No offense. Also, a lot of the rules were the rules of the convent, not of Mother Night. So, yeah.
It almost, like, as if covered by clouds, it almost seems to, the beam of light almost seems to narrow its gaze before vanishing.
I'm sorry.
That's just sort of.
Can someone give me a break?
Wrong. But I don't think Thor is from my world. Didn't he come from another place?
I believe so, yes. It's a name I've heard on my travels, a story I've heard over the years.
I know of him existing, and he has followers, but he wasn't originally from my world. It's like something brought him over.
Kind of like how you guys were brought here?
I mean,
Maybe.
weirdly,
There
we're
were
from
stories. There were stories about the world ending multiple times.
here.
Unfortunately, we Barovians wish for that.
So, why, if I can inquire, do you all decide to ingest a mild poison? As like Aster's like looking at another like glass of wine.
Because
Sort of
it's
swirling.
fun.
I feel fuzzy.
Is there a way to make someone, James, is there a way that we can make him drunk?
Technically, if he drinks enough, he will eventually get drunk.
He drank the entire horn of a dragon. What do you mean?
I'm looking through my spells to see if I have anything that might work.
I mean, you technically need some sort of spell that would make them have the poison effect.
I'm drinking because Strahd is a big old freaking jerk. And she actually does say that out loud.
Growls one of the wolf hunters nearby. You would notice, Katia, even in your drunken state, that both of these people are wearing wolf pelts as part of their clothing. It's clearly wolf fur.
Are they growling at me? Do I pin that? At least?
As you mentioned Strahd in that way, they growl slightly. Almost, not necessarily out of annoyance, but out of like a sort of shut up.
They don't want you to bring ill will upon
I'm
them.
literally saying Voldemort's name right now. He who should not be named.
That's necrotic.
I'm just... Look.
The devil.
He wanted me to call him all sorts of fucking names.
So I have a question. No, not for that. Sorry. I'm thinking. Sorry, that was really bad timing. I apologize.
I'm gonna say that was fucking funny.
I mean, I would argue at this point, Octavian's probably it's probably affected him a little bit. So that timing. So I've just got to inflict poison on Aster, right?
I have advantage against anything that would cause the poison condition.
Mm-hmm. You just
It's-
need to poison them, and we can say that's similar to the drunkenness if
And
you
it-
focus the poison in that way.
And it's 10 minutes to ritual cast, is it?
Yes.
Sweet.
How are you, what the hell
Come
are
with
you
me.
trying to cast?
Come with me, Aster.
What do you? What is it, Octavian?
I'm going to. He's going to poke his head back in and just ask. Don't suppose you've got a dried mushroom, have you? To like the innkeepers.
One of the innkeepers chucks you one.
Thank you. And I will
And
go.
Tarnish will come out and sit and watch.
I'm gonna
Imagine
sit.
Tarnish would.
I'm gonna sit on the floor, sort of just out
Wait, where
off
are
the
they
path,
going?
and I'm going to ritual cast. I don't know how
Magic
to
mushrooms.
undo
Oh my
that.
god.
Pretty much, because I'm going to ritual cast corrupting spores.
Wait. You got that prepared?
Ritual
Maybe.
cast.
Is that a ritual spell?
Yes, it is. I think so. No, no, it's not. God damn it! I misread concentration for ritual. Ignore me.
You can still do it.
So just ignore that. I misread that entirely because I'm an absolute idiot. Yeah, damn it.
That one is almost certainly not automated properly.
Yeah, I clicked it way out of the way as well anyway because it
Yeah.
was telling me to cast it and I couldn't.
So
I get rid of it. So
make a con save, Aster.
it. I mean, you can let me cast it even though it's not prepared.
I'm gonna allow it because this is just for funsies. I'm not
Sweet.
gonna...
So what I'll do
You're
then, I'll actually
microdosing on magic mushrooms. This is really funny.
effectively, yes, we are microdosing on magic mushrooms at this point just to give Aster.
That's far. Okay.
So it lasts for a minute. So do you just want to keep trying?
Yeah.
Over the next minute, next 10 rounds.
Yep. It's going to be probably a different kind of poison effect, but sure.
It's
right.
fine. It's fine.
Give another check. Okay, that's 2.
What's really funny is there's something I can do in response.
That's 3. Technically, you can make that a failure, Octavian.
Yes, I was just going to do that just because it saves having to keep re-rolling. I'm going to woe that.
That's
And that meets my DC.
Yeah, which means it's still a pass.
Damn it.
Okay, keep going, Aster.
It would be really
Oh.
funny if this doesn't work.
Whoa. I'm woeing you again.
Need a
For
4.
fuck's sake.
Come on.
Every single time this happens, it gets a little bit funnier.
So that's 4. Right, keep going.
Not even any point trying that one.
Yeah. Okay, that's 5.
I'm not. No. I would have to roll a
Wow.
5 or a 6.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
Yes.
a fail.
It's a fail.
Okay.
You know what? You're
So-
using class features. I can always use one if you if you want to see how
Sure.
it goes. But
Sure, if that's what Aster would do.
No.
What does that do? I can't remember.
That's from
Are you
the
eating
Mage
cow?
Hunter.
I'm eating the spell.
Wait, that's when a spell's cast.
When I take damage from a spell.
Oh fuck.
Is that a
What?
spell that you're casting?
Yeah, I ritual casted
No,
it.
no, as in.
Oh.
It's
No.
a class feature.
Yeah.
I need to actually remind myself how my...
If it hits by a non, it can use Lily's ability to expend a spell slot of equal level or higher to. Oh, I guess I can't do that because I can't expend a 4th level spell slot.
Oh, boo-hoo.
That's fine.
Yeah, so... Yeah, you tried to do that, but it seemed, but for some reason, I'm imagining it's almost as like a second, like one of the many mouths in your body's open to try to eat the spell and spit it back, but instead it just sort of coughs and splutters as you suffer the poisonous effect. But rather than a drunkenness effect, this is more of a high effect.
Hallucinogenic.
But it only so Octavian's form seemingly begins to melt in your vision, almost like that Salvador Dali clock's picture.
The question is how does that interact with Aster and their weird like memory like
He's...
their weird experience of reality?
Oh shit.
Hmm.
I didn't think of this.
A random door opens.
Yeah. Aster, give me a nature check.
Okay.
Okay. Yep, you're not smart enough to. You suddenly believe that Octavian is not Octavian. There is a strong smell of sulfur in the air. They are clearly an Ublex disguised as Octavian, and you get ready to fight.
No!
But fortunately, the effect of this, as you get ready to do something, the effect fades because it only lasts a round.
You would have seen Octavian, you would have
does...
seen Aster's eyes like lock in on you and like just before they ended up not attack.
Yeah. Yeah, and Octavian's form reconstitutes. And yeah, that's what it likes to be high on poisonous mushrooms.
How was your trip? This is Octavian, just like, how was your trip?
Aster sort of like you see as Aster like puts their hand like on their chin and sort of considers and goes, "It told me you were an enemy."
Oh.
I nearly killed you, Octavian.
Maybe we should experiment with this. And he'll stand up at this point from sort of being sat on the floor. Oh god, if he attacked him, that would have been advantage. Technically, it would have been prone.
Yep.
Octavian almost died. It's fine.
So whilst all this is going in on side, outside, those inside, probably Misha is the only one coherent enough to understand this. You overhear the two wolf hunters discussing. We've got to try to expand elsewhere. We can't keep going in that territory. That Kirill fellow is just... He's too violent. He's gonna get us if we go out there again. You're probably right. But we go much further south, then we're gonna hit Hag territory. And we go any further to the west, and we're hitting the mists. There ain't really much place left to hunt, and without us being able to hunt, there ain't gonna be much food left.
Mm.
Do with that what you will.
I
If anything at all.
remember this. What's this with the hack territory? What's keeping you away?
Well, the leader of the werewolf pack out there call themselves the Children of Mother Night. They got particularly vicious recently. Well, they've always been that bad, but something's not been holding them back, and they've got more and more active. Anytime we've been out there, we're not the ones doing the hunting. We're the ones being hunted. We've almost lost ourselves to Kirill and his lot a few times. I think we only escaped the last time because it was Zuleika leading them instead. She was more willing to warn us. And that's how we know their names too, because she actually introduced herself and told us that if Kirill was leading them, we'd be dead. And honestly, I reckon she's probably right. Even with silver-tipped weapons, we're no match for a whole pack of the things. And seemingly recently, they got stronger there. And they're clawing their way through the trees towards us. The damage they're dealing seems to be deeper than we've seen. Kirill's howl alone, when you hear it in the distance, it's different to the others. It's enough to chill your very bones.
Sure, but that's the wolves. What about the region past west of Argynvost?
Like I said, their territory's spread. It's pretty much if you stick to the roads, you're fine. But if you go into the woods, well, then you're in their territory. Even if you go as far as down the Raven River past Kresk, you can still run into them. And even if you stay close to the walls, well, now we're seeing a lot more scarecrows as well as the wolves.
And who's causing that? Is that from Barris, the scarecrows?
Well, they seem magic in origin, so as always, blame the old hag herself. Say you can't kill her, no matter what you do. She'll come back.
Ugh.
And we can't go fishing on the lake or try to go north because of whatever the bloody hell that thing is that keeps tearing apart the boats of anyone who tries to cross. And even if you can get across, you're likely to get struck by lightning if you're the wrong sort.
Lightning, is the weather that terrible?
Seems that way. We've seen, like, when we've been trying our best to fish, even on the edges, we've seen bolts of lightning strike towards the lake and the surrounding shore. It's a weird laughter and an overgrown deer.
Hmm.
Yeah, it ain't looking good food-wise. You managed to solve the wine problem, but food ain't gonna be easy to come by, no matter. Even with Kresk being willing to communicate, send word our way, but ain't enough to feed both towns. Not for long. Especially not as winter's coming.
Does anyone know where the people from the mill, where they get their wheat? Because they seem to have an abundance of wheat to create pies, grains.
Well, we tend to stay away from the east, but
Hmm.
from what we've seen near the mill, they do have their own wheat farm, though it's a strange wheat and almost seems to watch you as you move past. The soil seems fertile enough, at least from what we can see.
So there is a patch of ground that's fertile enough.
Aye, but time would be the problem there. Without someone who can make plants grow quickly, I'm not sure it would be that much help. It's possible you might be able to, if you could harvest the plants, you might be able to get someone to purify them in some way, remove the whatever dark magic is upon them. But in order to do that, you've got to deal with those those women. All three of them. At least three that we've seen.
There might be more.
It's always possible. They're not, from what we know, they're not the original three, so they come from somewhere, and there could be more about. But our observance have at least given us names. Not much more. Powerful trio they are. Thalia, Bella, and Morgantha.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yes.
Oh. Why is it dark? Well, best luck to your hunts. Just stay clear from the wolves.
Yeah, that's the difficult bit. If we had our way, we'd cull them a bit, bring down the numbers. That way, at least they wouldn't be able to spread as wide. But it seems like their numbers have grown.
Question, James.
Hmm.
Would Octavian and Aster have come in at this point?
I don't know. Would you?
I'm assuming we
These
would have sort of got
conversations
up
happening.
and walked in.
Yeah, possibly.
So, hearing about the food shortage, Octavian would not walk into the wall, first of all.
It's always a good start.
Yep. Ask the innkeep if they can get grain or something of that sort of nature. Something that's hardy and relatively easy to grow.
Well, we can probably get the seeds maybe if the Vistani are willing to trade, but
They will be.
we won't be able to do much more than that.
If you can get some by tomorrow, I can deal with it. I can deal with it.
What do you have in mind?
Well, as you are aware, I am a druid, even though I may not look like your typical one. I have a combination of abilities that might be useful. And he will dig into his, I'm sure, like his spell component pouch and just pull out a. I don't know, James. What sort of seeds would I have in my spell component pouch off the top of your head?
Probably.
I don't know, barley or something. I don't bloody know.
Maybe. Yeah.
So he'll hold out this seed, or a handful of these seeds, and I'm going to cast Druidcraft, which lets you
Yeah.
instantly make a flower blossom, a seed pod open, or a leaf bud bloom.
Yeah.
So all these seeds start to grow.
Mm.
So that's step one. Step two is a spell that I have recently acquired, but I don't currently have it available.
Mm.
And it is called Plant Growth.
Yeah.
If you can get, I don't know, an area planted in time, say at most half a mile,
Mm.
I can enrich it to be able to be harvested twice, or plant yield is twice the normal amount of food when harvested.
The only difficulty with that is even if the seeds begin growing now, I'm not sure they'll be at a sufficient amount in time before winter cold kills them off. But
What sort of time frame
we
do we
can
have before winter?
not very long, because that was one of the reasons why Kresk was so adamant on trying to get food from elsewhere, because with their supplies devastated, they weren't going to survive winter. So it's not long.
I think that we should deal with the wolves. We can cull their territory a bit, and or deal with the werewolves. We can cull their territory back and allow the hunters to hunt more. We already have the hunters here ready to hunt normal wolves. If we cull back the werewolves' territory, it should give the normal wolves a more or less capable territory for our hunters to be able to get their meat.
That would be great if you could, but it's a hell of a risk. Those things are dangerous. And if they get one good bite off on you, then you're one of them.
Well, we're dangerous.
Aster's gonna look and just gonna gonna look and just calmly go, I believe I already have some of what they have going on anyway.
I'll take your word for it, my furry friend. And they go back to eating their steak.
Oh shit, yeah, Octavian would be going back to a cold steak.
Greed,
Yeah.
greed, 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 greed,
Yes.
greed, greed. I feel so good right now.
Yes, you
Do you
definitely
think-
haven't done this enough.
Never. I see why people do it though. Wow. Do you think if do you think if she's trying to speak a little bit quieter, so it's just between her and Greed. And so she's just like, do you think Misha might be interested
In
me?
you?
Like, at all? Yeah.
Well, you've seen the way that he follows you around. There's a reason why I call him a dog.
I mean, like, he's just so nice and strong. And, like,
And
You know.
naive as fuck.
So am I.
What are you getting at?
He's a cute little dork. But, you know, problems. But also, what's the biggest FU I can give to my ex? You know?
I don't think that's necessarily the best way to be thinking about it right now. I mean, the biggest fuck you to your ex is to kill him, but...
Okay, yeah,
Hey,
but we're not gonna
stay
do that tonight.
Why does Katia keep yell whispering?
Octavian's
I'm
gonna
gonna-
never go.
I'm gonna-
She's drunk. It's
I'm
what
gonna-
happens.
I'm gonna invite him to my room tonight.
Your he fucking chokes on his wine. You're going to what?
What? You don't think I should?
I think you might have had a few too many.
No, you're supposed to hype me up and be like, yes, queen, go get your man.
I mean, yes, queen. He's just going to look over to Palmar. It's like, I need you to sober me up now.
Octavian's just gonna look up over his book at Misha, like as almost to say, "Are you hearing this right now?"
I imagine Misha's like completely doing something completely separate.
This was when he was talking to the wolf guy the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
he's a little focused.
Palmar pulls out some really strong coffee and forces it down your throat and uses that to cast protection from poison to neutralize the poison on you.
Oh, that's much better.
And then sort of gestures with his thumb to Katia.
He's just going to hold a hand up. It's like, wait a moment. Do you like him?
Yes, I like him.
And I think he likes you. I'd say so.
You think, really?
But it might be worth talking to him about it before you just dive right in.
Shaw didn't really talk about it with me.
Yes,
Here we
but
are.
Misha isn't Strahd, darling. I understand that your love life hasn't exactly been the most beneficial for your well-being / health in general.
He murdered my family. What do you think?
Yeah, Misha isn't that kind of guy.
No, he's not. He's...
And so I don't think offering yourself on a platter is going to be his... well, a way to romance him.
Well, then what do I do? What should I do?
Talk to him.
'Cause I
Go
want-
for a
I
walk.
want-
He seems like the kind of guy that likes a moonlit walk and sit in the woods and, you know, the romantic kind. It's either that or he's just thick as shit.
I think I get what you're trying to say now. So I gotta seduce him.
In a way, I guess.
I mean,
you have to be more charming.
Palmar goes, if you want, I can write a message in the sky that just says, hey, Palmar, wanna come? Not Palmar, hey, Misha, wanna come to my room? Love, Katia.
You're not helping.
I can do that too.
Shut up! I think maybe go for a walk with him and find out how he really feels. You never know, you might get a smooch under the moonlight.
That would be really romantic.
I'd rather not really do it outside, though. Okay.
She finishes off her 4th drink now. All right.
Wait,
Like
what
courage.
happened to the... Only 4th? I thought you were at 5th already.
She lost count.
Yeah, she's
Am
drunk.
I
She
at
can't count.
Uh,
No,
Tarnish
this is Taylor blanking, not Katia.
Yeah,
can only
Tarnish
count
comes up
before.
and whispers in your ear. You should just ask him out. Do it.
I'm trying.
Is that
Tarnish
Tarnish?
may
Someone
literally
doesn't want
start.
me to.
Tarnish may literally like hold Katia's like finger and like try to like pull her over.
I'm
Yeah.
just going to take spoon and bonk Tarnish.
I was trying to help.
Octavian's just going to push a tankard over to Misha and go, you might want this.
Huh?
And then Palmar looks to Greed and just gestures with his hands like, should I sober her up?
She's walking away.
But she's
No, guess not.
Hi, Misha.
are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm.
Oh no.
She almost falls over. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
grab her.
good.
Go.
Sorry. I think I've had too much to drink.
Are you...
Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
Is...
I'm good.
Should...
Sorry.
Greed's going to shout out across the tables. I think she wants to go for a walk. Maybe you could accompany her, your knight in shining armor.
I can take you for a walk.
Yeah, I wanna sober up in the moonlight.
Roll
Yeah,
for
get a bit of
deception.
Roll for deception at disadvantage.
a
Because of
disadvantage.
poison.
Okay. Her deception's actually pretty high. Stop lagging.
There you go. Gotta beat a 15.
I'm
Oof,
pretty sure that's not gonna be a 15.
Yeah.
Yep. You're seeing right through them, Misha. They clearly have other things on their mind in the moonlight.
But
Mhm.
she grabs his hand and they
pulls.
if you want to have him follow her.
Yeah. Here. That one.
Woo! Go Katia! Tarnish.
Uh,
Cheers.
Are
Uh,
you?
Greed's just going
Aster
to
will
take
look
his...
at Octavian sort of while this is happening and go, so, your wife. I
Yeah?
remember weddings, most of them, and relationships, most of them turning bloody in some form or another.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really understand the feeling of those things. The emotions are subtle. It's not like the rush of adrenaline or the muscles tensing. What is
Yeah.
it that makes those people matter so much that you would consider something dangerous? Even for a moment.
It's hard to explain. It genuinely is. It
Well,
Mm.
you know me. How do You think I would understand?
Hmm. So what part of it is it you're
I don't quite understand the willingness to do something largely dangerous or risky for the sake of a single person. At least not in the way that the dark powers were offered. I want to understand what this, sort of looking at Katia and Misha walking out the door, is all
Hey.
about.
Mhm.
What could drive someone to do something terrible for something they love?
For me, and he'll sit there and really, he'll put the tome down again. Hmm.
You can cut back and forth between this conversation and Misha and
Yeah,
Katia.
yeah, of
I
course.
will move to the conversation on the outside.
I'm trying to work this one out.
Oh, jeez. They're walking for a little bit, and I think she realizes that she's still holding his hand, and she lets go. And she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't."
Hmm?
She lets
Didn't.
go of his hand.
Are you feeling better now? Less crowded?
What?
Fresh air?
Yeah. The moon's always a comfort for me, so yeah, I do feel a bit better. I'm sorry. I'm such a mess.
Why are you sorry? There's nothing for you to apologize about.
Yeah, I'm a drunk mess right now. And you gotta deal with me. You've been nothing but so incredible since we've met. When you stood up to your father for me, you know, when he protected me from Strahd. The amount of times you've saved my life is just I've lost track at this point. I'm grateful to you. And I don't
Amount of
really feel
times
like
I've saved
sorry.
your life is nothing compared to the times you've saved mine.
I'm just a healer. I don't that's what I do.
If you're just a healer, what does that make me? I'm not strong. I'm not a great healer. I
What are
can
you
barely
talking?
protect myself. I'm
Neither can I.
surrounded by people that are so much more incredible than I believe I can be. I'm surprised people are even willing to put up with me.
Sorry, that just sounds a little silly.
Does it?
Yeah, to me, you're like a prince, from those storybooks. You kind of fit the description to a T. Brave, kind, handsome. You get it.
Misha's surprised at the last words. Handsome. Just can't believe that part.
I mean, you are. Misha, I just wanted to thank you for everything, I guess.
I
Yes?
I'm so confused why you think I'm handsome while I've been called ugly and a monster for almost half my life.
For what?
Sure, I'm giving light now, but that I'm no longer human.
So? I'm only half
I'm not
human.
I'm not even half human. I'm just for some reason demonic. I think. Look, I guess those are also good. It's so complicated now.
I know
Sorry for
it's a
rambling.
no. I I know it's a curse. And it's affected your entire life up until this point, but I always thought the markings on your face were really pretty. Sorry.
Uh,
It's probably not what you want to hear.
Blushes. Are they?
Yeah. She'll reach up
Mhm.
and she'll trace a finger along the markings down his face.
Mhm.
Just- yeah.
Sorry, it must be the alcohol speaking. Give me a moment. No, the other one. The other one. This one.
He wants to make sure she's making the choice. I see.
Yeah.
What?
You've just been cured of your drunkenness.
Ah. Oh. I'm not drunk anymore.
Sorry. You were saying something that didn't make sense. You were saying my markings were beautiful?
Her face is still red. Yeah. Why did you do that?
Because I don't want you to say stuff you don't mean.
But I do mean it. I was drinking to get enough courage to talk to you.
But why? I
The gears turning.
I'm at a loss for words to how to describe this. I'm
I'm
just
sorry.
you are such a beautiful amazing, brave, and strong woman, you have been haunted by a past that would destroy almost anyone I know. Why would you choose me? And no one from a fallen family.
You're nothing like him.
Aren't
You've
you?
never told. You never
Sorry.
told me a single lie. You've always listened to me when I needed to speak with someone of faith. You've saved my life so many times I've lost track, and you make me feel safe. You make me feel like I can do anything. I never thought.
Hmm?
I don't know. I never thought that there was anything outside of him. That my life would only be someone else's. Someone else to decide. You've given me a voice. A chance to grow and get stronger. I don't care about your past. I don't care about where you came from or a curse. I never cared about that.
Then rather than just a walk, wanna go take a ride around the city on Rover? Fly through the wind?
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
With a bounce over
Mm-hmm.
quite quickly.
Hi, Rover.
And
Physical boy.
I'm honestly imagining, because they have that bonus action teleport, I'm almost imagining they teleport underneath so that you're just immediately on their back.
I feel like Katia will just yelp, but then she'll grab onto
Mhm.
Misha. Is Katia sitting? I'm guessing with the positioning, she's sitting behind him.
When your
And so
bad
she's
boy crushes motorcycle is a wolf.
Mhm.
So she puts her arms around him, her hands resting on his chest.
Okay, you better hold on. Rover is gonna run like Pocephalon is on his heels. What was his name?
Bucephalus.
Claymore.
Bucephalus.
Bucephalus.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. Enjoy.
Yep, and the two
Uh,
of you go for a long romantic ride in the moonlight.
Aww.
And we will cut back to the others and what they're doing, I suppose. Greed, what are you doing? I suppose is a good question.
So now Greed is sobered up and starting to re-drink again. he
Yep.
would have retrieved the notebook again and would be going over, going over what.
That's supposed to come from over. Sorry.
Uh-huh. Going over what he had started before everyone started to join him. So we'll be discussing about the cost of materials and... Well, in fact, I guess I'll talk about it in person. So I was thinking... I'm not entirely sure if you've had enough time to break down what Octavian had given you.
Well, the design is similar to something I've been working on, just a bit more advanced. I've got some knowledge of these types of equipment.
Blinsky mentioned you were working on something. I may have something for you, Palmar. And he'll pull out the sheet of paper that he drew the sort of blueprints and schematics on in Blinsky's and hand it to him.
Does it include materials?
It can do, and he'll take it back and start. Yeah, he's sort of eyeing the book, the tome out of his sort of corner of his eye still.
That would
And
be
he's just sort of. And yeah, he's writing down materials. He's sort of correcting slight errors, sort of scaling it down to someone of Palmar's height and bit and size, because he would be building them for sort of schematics. They would be planned for someone who's like 9 foot tall. So he'd be sort of going, no, that's the wrong size for someone of your size, and yeah, just sort of doing that.
So once
Aster's still waiting for an answer to the question too.
Once that's completed, he'd show him the now corrected rough costs of how much this is going to be.
Oh, he's giving you like accurate measurements down to like the millimeter.
And how many of these would you plan to be making exactly?
If I can get the necessary resources together and I can get the necessary training, I'd at least like maybe the most skilled marksman in the town to have them as a form of defense. I'm considering particularly those that we have stationed on the western gate, having them with these tipped with silver bullets and some form of scoping mechanism so they can deal with the wolves a long time before they get here. And whilst we're defended from some of the some threats, there's still others that in the numbers that the hunters are suggesting could prove a threat to our walls.
Understandable.
Well, I will say on the piece of paper, James, it is for a pistol similar to what Octavian has. There is a blunderbuss that Palmar, Blinsky said Palmar was working on, and there is a rifle as well, like a wheel lock rifle.
Yeah. Palmar looks the blunderbuss, not quite the design I was going for, but a good starting point. I was considering more something along the lines of, when it fires the bullet, it would have a spread. He was, and he sort of explains it and sort of does a rough sketch, and you can see he's trying to make a shotgun.
I mean, that's pretty much what blunderbuss is. It's an early shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's saying, like what you've got is sort of like a more primitive version of the idea that he has. But mostly that would be a last ditch thing for when the enemies get up close, whereas the real weapon's going to be the rifle, particularly when we know that the enemy can come by air. It's good to, whilst bows and crossbows have their capabilities, having something that maybe has a bit more impact and a bit more Durm and Strang, as it were, would be a bit more
You said about
Impressive.
scoping mechanisms,
Hmm.
and similar thing. I would assume Octavian would have seen different variations
Yeah.
of scopes and sights.
Yeah, I'm trying to scale down and find a cheaper way to make something akin to a spyglass because
So the
those
idea,
are
Eyeglasses aren't
very
exactly the
expensive.
most
yes,
cheap thing to make either.
No.
no. So
So
have you thought of this? And he'll draw up a plan, and it's effectively a larger sort of glass sight. And then as it goes down, it just sort of they're all one sort of flick up levers for you different magnifications.
hmm.
I'll find
Okay.
what I'm looking for as an actual photo, James, and send it to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, Palmar will look over. I mean, that if I can get the necessary materials and expertise together, that might not be a bad one. But it's going to take time. It's not something I'm rushing towards. Currently, probably the closest I've got to upgrading the guard's weaponry would be this, and they show basically a quick loading crossbow, so almost like if you think similar to
Torpedo.
in yeah
Be Van
like
Helsing, please
in
be Van
housing
Helsing.
yeah similar to
Yes.
that, but not quite to that like machine gunning sort of thing, but it could probably do maybe like almost like a burst fire rather than a single shot.
I mean, Chinese. You can go down to like the Chinese repeating crossbows
Yeah.
or style.
Yeah, I want, of course, I want something with a bit more impact eventually, but
Of
and
course.
um, but these are, I'm considering for the werewolves potentially lacing the black powder with like a silver phosphate almost, so when it hits, it's well, let's just say the explosion will be lace them with silver as well.
I mean, that's another thing of
As the
trying to
initial.
find somebody who even trades in black powder. I mean, you know where we're from, it's not exactly common.
No,
And
no,
when
it's
something is
difficult. I
not
mean,
common, it's not cheap, Palmer.
I know it's more of a want rather than a need, but something to do in my spare time and come up with ideas, even if I could get one of them made, or the other option is upgrading one of the shield guardians, replacing that arm with like a cannon. Considered that,
That
or
would be an
not
interesting
shield
move.
guardians, animated armors.
If it's
Hmm.
doable, then
It all comes down to the black powder, and whilst the materials are known and the quantities are known and how to make it's getting a hold of them, and the Vistani seem somewhat reluctant, even or not so much reluctant, pricey.
yes.
I think because they know exactly what we're going to be using it for, and considering where their allegiance mostly lies. I've
Well, just let
also.
me know, and
Mm,
I'll see what I can muster here in terms of funds.
that would be helpful, certainly, and
It would be much easier if I had access to my treasury.
yes, I would imagine so. I would imagine as part of like the discussions, you would have probably mentioned that like to them that you've got a hold of a large amount of money, you just can't necessarily access it.
Yes, I was about to get to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I did send you a photo, by the way.
yeah,
What I was sort of how my brain was thinking, and it's easier to do it that way than explain.
Yeah, essentially what you're imagining is a series of reducing my magnifying glasses that
Yes.
are reducing in size over time, which is cheaper than a spyglass to buy a bunch of magnifying glass.
Yes,
They
that's
slow
exactly
yes.
how I was. I knew what I was thinking of. It was just trying to get it into words. My brain didn't want to think properly. Like,
Yeah, so I've also considered trying to enlist Victor's help whilst he specializes in, or seems to be specializing in, conjuration magic. It's possible he could use that to maybe summon something in that could provide the parts. Though, if he could get the rest of the spell book, I'd imagine he'd have a lot better help. But yes, I'll keep track of everything. I've been billing the town for what it's worth, and I'm pretty sure I've got most of my numbers accurate. And they will pass you over basically a list of receipts for, like, the animated armors. It's the aid from Victor to be able to enchant them, because that's a bit beyond Palmar by themselves. They're not fully magical like the original animated armor, and they're actually steam powered.
Oh.
Yeah, they have a small reservoir of water in the chest and area, which is then heated, which powers it, and there's some magic binding that steam in to allow it to animate, but it's almost like trapping a steam method inside it, I suppose, would be the closest.
Palmar, have you not thought of? And he'll take a piece, grab like the piece of paper back, turn it over, and he's going to start sketching what is effectively a steam cannon, using the steam power to build up pressure to then fire a projectile.
That's actually, he sort of looks for a moment and goes, now that is an idea. If we could clear the lake so that we can get a decent supply of water, maybe even get some sort of pump system to fill a reservoir that we could access, that could work.
I was just sitting there thinking, hold on, I think steam cannons, they have worked, kind of.
Yeah, they're probably not, I would imagine not.
They weren't great.
Best, but I imagine, are they like a one-shot thing?
No, so there was this is going to American Civil War era, but there was one that used centrifugal force rather than gunpowder, and it could fire 250 times a minute.
Damn.
Which for the 1800s isn't bad.
Yeah.
And
definitely worth
only
keeping in
one
mind.
ever existed. It did kind of work, but it wasn't
Gunpowder's just
amazing.
more efficient.
Yeah, gunpowder's more efficient, but it was people going, can we do this?
Yeah, but I will definitely have to keep that in mind and see where the designs might have to blow up at 2 or 3, but
of course, you hand over obviously this is quite experimental, so you hand over like the ideas that sort of rattling around Octavian's head, thinking of it.
Yeah, give me an intelligence check.
Straight
intelligence.
God. I'll take that.
That's pretty damn good. Yeah, it's pretty good design.
I will take that. I only have a +1, so I was thinking, oh, here we go.
Yeah. It's not a bad design. Definitely something that they can work with. It's going to take time, though.
Of course. Well, that's what you say. So it's going to take time, and then he'll sort of look at greed and go, and money, because it is completely experimental. It may not even work.
Yeah.
But it might.
Yeah.
Right, so that's that bit.
Aster is patiently waiting for your answer.
Yes, apologies, Aster. So my brain started ideas. Once ideas start, I can't stop. So it was what would drive a person to do something like that, such as the ritual for one, or potentially what ritual could have done for one person. Was it
Why
not?
take the risk of other people? Why take the? Why not operate for the greater good?
You sort of smile and go, and this is why I didn't take the offer as much as I wanted to. I didn't because of the risk that it could cause to everyone else. And I suppose myself as well, a bit, if you want to call it a bit of selfishness, because I don't know what the outcome could have been.
Sadly, the
Yeah.
outcome would have been that you would have died by my blade, Octavian.
Well, yes, that. If you even got the chance, depending what the depending what the offer was, it could have been a life for a life. You know. However, that's besides the point.
And Aster said that matter of factly. There was no threat. There was no.
Oh no, he got that straight away. That was just a sheer. This would have happened. I was sort of. I think it was sort of rub his chin, sort of thoughtful, and just think of. For me, I suppose if I wasn't as I am now, and with my nature being what it is, as I've said to you all many times, if it meant the survival of everyone else in this party, I would lay down my. You know
And I would
this.
do the
You
same.
all know this.
And I would do the same. It's part of my purpose. But there are things that may change that question.
Of course.
If the only chance to save you all would be to abandon you all, they would.
As to your question, I suppose. When I lost her, it was as if my own being, in a sense.
This is death.
Yeah. It's hard to. Please don't take this as it is going to sound, Aster, but it's hard to explain how the feeling is to someone who's never felt that way.
Other teacher complain about how they don't want to plan on the weekend. Like, the weekends are my time. You literally knew what you were getting into when you went into teaching. You know that teachers work a lot.
Taylor.
You know that teachers.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was muted.
I muted them
I'm
briefly.
so sorry. I am so sorry. I thought I was
All right.
muted. I am so sorry.
We only just picked it up. Don't worry.
But
I want to die. I'm so sorry.
Aster is sort of mulling over and goes, well, I know what caring thing is.
Caring is something entirely different. It's a similar feeling, but it is on a much, much smaller scale.
I've had a new feeling recently, and he looks over at Argus, who's got like his face like in that soup bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I don't know what that one is.
How does it feel?
Cloying.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. And sort of looking at, don't, again, this is not as it's going to sound, but obviously I know you have your multiple people. He's just sort of questioningly, he's trying to think of the right way to word it without seeming.
Yes, there are multiple
Soul individuals. Have none of them experienced what you're querying?
More so, the memories I have of them are primarily biological unless they explain them.
And that there is the issue. It is a very biological feeling as well. It's so hard to explain. That really is.
As well as I don't believe my body works the same as yours or theirs.
No, you sort of chuckle at that and go, no, I don't believe it might. I mean, you never know. That aspect could have been added to you, I suppose, by Dahlia, but
Aster turns their head and they turn it like a few degrees too far to where it would snap the neck of anything else.
I mean,
It's the dog head twist, but a little too far.
yeah. You just hear this little crack of like the neck, like the vertebrae go, sort of cringe a bit. I mean, I don't know. You know, again, I'm really sorry. Said the name of the old guy got.
There is Hohenheim, that's the doctor.
Hohenheim, that's the one.
The Piotr is the old man.
Sorry, no, Hohenheim's the one I was thinking of. The one that Octavian gets on quite well with.
Oh, that's Piotr.
Oh, it's Piotr. Sorry, I do apologize.
You're good. It's been a bit since we've mentioned them.
I remember names when I hear them, and it's like, shit, wait, which one was it?
But yes, it's the old Piotr.
Has he not experienced that before?
You see Aster sort of think to themselves for a moment and go, he did quite a lot.
Then perhaps he.
But I don't know if he found someone he loved in that way. He dedicated his whole life to the research division, as did Dahlia. Well, there's so all of the like diary notes I sent you, James, those are all like were good to reference, or was there any information in them?
Nope, that's fine.
He sort of like rolls his like tongue around his mouth as he thinks into some of Dahlia's memories, which are mostly new to them. And they kind of go, there was the dark-haired woman.
Oh?
But she was betrothed to another. So she gave up on it. And Aster is going to try to think of the face of that woman. And I'm going to roll a history check to see how well they do there, because they would be able to recognize it. Because it was if I am correct, if you remember this, James, that woman would have been Tatiana.
Yep. That's pretty well done. Yeah, you probably remember that.
Yeah, Aster sort of goes, she looks like Irina. The woman with the dark hair.
Maybe maybe Irene is a descendant of hers?
Perhaps.
trying to think if I... No, I don't have anything that would be helpful.
But she was very fond of her. But she was with a man.
Hmm. I'm trying to see if I have a spell that might help here. But no, I do not.
Is being willing to dedicate one's entire life to a thing like the research division something you would do for love?
It could well be. It very well could be.
Because I remember Dahlia, a different kind of love, but
Mhm.
there was 2 young boys.
Mhm.
And she would do it for them.
Yes, it could very well be. Octavian, you know what? Just because Octavian's going to look over at like the innkeeper and his wife and go, "How would you explain this?" Because I'm going to assume they've been listening in, knowing what they are, the faction they're a part of.
Oh, yeah.
James. So
Sorry.
that's right. I said Octavian sort of would look over at the innkeeper, knowing, and his wife, knowing what faction they're part of, being,
Yeah.
you know, could you weigh in on this one? How would you explain it? I suppose for my race, it would be different from yourselves as well. How would you explain this?
Explain what exactly? Just clarify exactly.
Well, Octavian sort of gestured to Aster. You know, your question. How would...
Why would someone do something terrible for love?
That's a difficult one. Often the heart makes I'd say a better way of thinking this. Sometimes for some people the heart can almost be like a second mind, and in those situations it can cause you to do silly things for noble reasons, even if it means putting others at risk in the long run. For myself, if it meant protecting my children, I would do what I could. After all, they are my legacy. They are the most important thing to me, more important than this inn, more important than all of Barovia itself. But it's difficult to explain until you experience that feeling yourself.
I agree. As a parent myself, I would. And he looks at us and go, metaphorically, before you start, you know, but I would drown a town in blood if it meant protecting my children. If it meant they were safe, I would do almost anything.
Aster sort of thinks on this and thinks about those 2 young boys and the way that Dahlia thought about them and the way that sort of thinks on the logic of that situation, and then sort of looks for that connection anywhere else in Dahlia's memories, only to find one answer. And then he calmly goes, "The same way that Dahlia felt about those 2 young boys, I believe she felt about me." Is that...
And at that, Octavian will smile, you know, and that's why she was willing to die for you, to look for you. that Aster is the answer. And he'll sort of put his heels, with that he'll stand up, put his hand on Aster's shoulder and go, right, I'm going to bed. I'm going to assume it's evening, or like sort of evening at this point, James.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go and have some nighttime reading.
Yeah, so I would say between conversations and the fact you haven't been fully focused, and I've taken an hour off of your time so far.
Oh God.
Because
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's because you really have to spend the time focused reading.
I'd probably do a couple of hours sort of laying on a bed before going to sleep.
Yeah. Right.
Obviously, Octavian just look at Greed and go, before I go to sleep, I'll do your hair for you if you need me to.
How do you respond to that, Greed?
You may be muted, Ken.
Oh shit, I'm so sorry, I missed it. Sorry. Say one last.
So Octavian, just as he sort of starts to head up to to his room and go, before you go to sleep, I'll rebraid your hair for you. It's been a little while.
That would be amazing.
Everyone, it'll be able to say same room. He'll sort of look over at the innkeeper. I'm assuming the same rooms that we were in last time.
We saw you coming, so we got the rooms ready.
Thank you.
Free of charge for tonight.
Thank you very much. He'll find the room with like the largest bed.
Yeah. Greed, is there anything else you wanted to do?
Well, I'm assuming that, Palma, you're going to be returning to the manor.
Yes, I will be. I've got some more research to do before I finish up for the night.
He'll hand Palmar back the piece of paper with the sort of magnifying glass scope on it.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, I mean, hopefully soon we'll be able to make everything, well, come true, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'll see you, hopefully, tomorrow before we leave.
Yes, and I'm just going to look at Palmar's sheet a moment on something. Yeah, certainly not. Yeah, he can't do much. Yeah, he nods. I'll head over in the morning. Make sure you get a good send off. I assume you're, and then they will head off.
Okay, Palmer, do you want this again? He'll sort of hold up the revolver or the pistol.
No, I've already taken it apart and sketched its schematics and put it back together.
Of course.
I'll also give him a brief before he leaves.
Yeah, and then he leaves. I also oiled it for you to make sure all of the mechanisms are working properly.
Appreciate it.
And
appreciate it. Thank you.
And they ruffle Greed's hair, purposely messing it up or heading off.
You bastard. And I guess me and Octavian will go upstairs, and just before we get to the top of the stairs, Greed will just go, where the fuck is Misha and Katia?
Yep, and now we will briefly go over to them to see what's happening on their date, for want of a better word.
Not fading to black.
I mean, it depends. Is this a fade to black moment?
Well, we're not there yet, if we are.
Not yet, that's the...
We have to edge them a little bit. I'm sorry.
it does start with a ride across town.
Romantic
and at
ride.
some point, Wover is gonna step on the roofs of some buildings and then jump between houses until they get on the Wachter house.
Yeah, in which you hear a loud meowing coming from inside and someone seemingly trying to scratch at the ceiling.
Oh, I forgot about that damned cat.
Cat?
Yeah, this building has a cat lady. It's
I love
weird.
cats.
I'm not sure if you want to talk with this one. She's very vicious. We should go to another building.
I'll go wherever you want to take me.
I guess the other high building would be the Burgermeister's house.
Yep, you can go onto the Burgmaster's house if you want.
Oh wait, there is the church.
There is
Yes,
also the
Catholic
church,
church.
yes.
Not us feeding to blacken the roof of the church. God damn.
Well, no, I was just looking for the scenery because from the church you have such a amazing view over the lake.
Well, that's probably true, yeah.
Oh, Misha, it's gorgeous up here.
Not as gorgeous as you.
Shut up!
Ah,
Shut up! You're
Breathe in
ruining
that
it.
you're
Octavian.
asleep, great.
Green
You're not
Octavian
here,
to
Green.
Octavian.
And no, I'm not going to be that person. Lucian, interrupt. I could, but I won't.
Which Lucian will interrupt? Which
The
one
inner one.
dares to interrupt?
Oh, jeez, that child.
Technically, the inner Lucian is there the entire time. They're part of you.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
can say whatever you want, but your view won't be as beautiful as mine. Hmm?
That's Taylor, not Katia.
Lucian, you just hear a like a clap for that line in your head.
Clap as in
A slow
clapping
clap
or
in the distance.
face
He
fall?
does-
No,
face-
like a genuine
Okay.
congratulatory clap because it's quite a good line.
Damn. He's hyping him
Oh.
up, being like, damn, man, good. So, why did you want to bring me here?
So we can at least enjoy some parts of this cursed lands.
Hmm.
Have some time for ourselves.
Yeah. You know, this place isn't so bad. But then again, I don't really have much to compare it to, do I?
Well, when we get out of here. Not if, when. We're gonna have a whole world to discover. And not just one, because Octavian promised us to take us on a ship, right?
Oh, that's right! I want to see the whole world. I mostly want to see the ocean, though. Ooh,
And all
and
we have to do with this lake. Yes?
I was just about to say that I read a book about a desert. I want to see one of those too.
Oh, I can't help you with that.
You can't?
Well, not the dryness.
What?
The dryness of the dust and sand.
Oh.
Of course, it's rough. And it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
It's rough, of course.
You know, I wanted to see if you wanted to,
spend some time with me tonight. But I think I like this a little bit more.
Whatever you wish.
Well, what I wish to do might get me in trouble.
Hey, wanna know a secret about my oath?
Hmm?
We never swore a oath of celibacy. Winks.
I broke mine a long time ago. You know,
And what's...
I think we're far enough away from everyone.
Should we get a place to stay? Or should we go to the inn? Or just stay up here?
Why wait?
I think at that moment, that is where we will fade to black.
We did it,
And
Fruskies!
And we will also end tonight's session there, I think.
Okay.
Fucking finally.
Nice.
So, thank you for watching. Thank you for playing. Join us tomorrow for Icewind Dale. Friday for the Hidden Shrine.
Hidden Shrine.
Monday for the Jumping Junipers.
Jumping Junipers.
Wait, you're
And
gonna
we'll
skip
be back
again?
next Tuesday. Yep, we are not on again this week for the Icewind
Aw.
Trekkers.
Bye, everyone.
Bye
Bye.
Bye, everybody!
Bye.